Hello, guys. So we are back with the next installment of the lessons that we were doing, the digital suite, SAT suite hard questions. So here we have this one. So one method of calculating the age is to multiply. So age in years is to multiply the diameter in inches with the growth factor. Okay, this is the growth factor given here. And now it says that you have a white birch tree, so that's this one, and a pin oak tree, so that's this one. Their growth factors are given. Their diameters are 1 foot, but then we need in inches. So for the white birch, which is 12, 1 foot means 12 inches. So this age would be 12 times 5, so that's 60 years. And the pin oak would be again 12 because it's 12 inches only, 1 foot times 3, 36 years. Now they are saying 10 years later, what will happen? So 10 years later means when it is 70 years. And this one would be 46 years. So when it is 70 years for this one, the diameter would be the age by the growth factor. So that is 70 divided by the growth factor, which is 5. So that's 14 inches. Okay. And for this one, when it is 46 years, the diameter would be age by the growth factor. So 46 divided by 3. So that would be 15.33 inches. Hence, the difference between the two would be 1.33 inches. So that is option C. All right, let's go to the next question. So we have a scatter plot. It shows the sales in dollars and the temperature in Celsius on 12 different days. So there are 12 dots. A line is drawn, the line of best fit. Which of the following could be the equation of the line of best fit? So now, if you look at this carefully, a very instinctive reaction would be to I assume that the y-intercept is 400, but that would be wrong because the this is not the y-axis. This is the line x equal to 10. That means y-intercept is going to be way much lower than 400. It's not going to be anywhere near 400, right? So this is like each gap is 2, which is pretty big. So by the time this goes all the way to 0, this would have come down way long, right? Like way low. So that means whatever it is, A and B can be safely ruled out because it shows that the y-intercepts are 400. Now, between the other two, you can just pick and choose. For example, we can pick a number like at 16, the value is 600. So if I plug in T as 16, and let's say try with this one, so D would be 33 times 16 plus 300. Now 16 times 33 is 528 plus 300. That is around 828. But then that's not the case. But if I try with this, T equal to 16, then D would be, so that's 528 plus 84. That is 612, which is actually pretty close to what it is. So this looks the correct answer. So you can mark option D. Let's move on. The Alumni Association survey asked each high school graduate to select one activity. Some of the people responded by phone, others by mail. The distribution is shown in percentage for each response type used. Now it says that for the survey, the number of email responses, the number of email was twice the number of phone. That means if phone were 100 responses, emails had 200 responses, right? Double total number of responses. It says if a person who preferred picnic is selected at random, this one is selected at random. So what will be the probability that the person responded by email? So that means this. So now we can't just do 5 over 25 because the weights are different. So this is 5% of 200. So that would mean what? 5% of 200, it's 10. And 20% of 100 is 20. Okay. So that means out of the total 10 plus 20, 30 people, the person responded by email is only 10. So the probability is 10 divided by 30, which is 1 over 3. So the probability is one third. Okay. Next. So samples A and B, percentage in favor, margin of error, etc. The results are shown. Which of the following is the most appropriate reason why the margin of error for A is greater? So actually in stats, what happens is there is usually a margin of error because the sampling does not perfectly represent the entire population. Now, the smaller the sample you take, the higher the chances of some bias coming in. So if you take a large sample, think it in this way that if you take a large, the sample is as large as the population itself, then there would be simply no error, right? So in simple terms, the larger the size, the lower the error. Okay. The larger the size, the lower the error. Since A has a higher error, that means the sample size of B must have been higher. So A had a smaller sample, smaller number of votes that could not be recorded. No. A had a higher percentage of favor. No. Sample A had a larger size. No. Sample A had a smaller sample size. Yes. The sample size of A must have been lower, hence a higher percentage of error. Okay, let's go on to the next one. The density of wood is 353 kilograms per cubic meter. Okay, 353 kilograms by meter cube. A sample of this wood is in the shape of a cube. Okay, and the cube has a mass of 345 kilograms. So if it is mass is 345 kilograms, what is the volume? So if you look at this is kilogram per meter cube, right? So that means the density multiplied with the volume, which is like meter cube, would give you the mass, which is kg, right? Kg per meter cube multiplied with meter cubes will cancel. You will get mass, kg. So to get the volume, we have to divide mass by density. So it is 345 upon 353 meter cube. And if you use a calculator for this, obviously you get 345 divided by 353, and that is 0.977. But then it's a cube. So the volume is basically side cube. The side cube is 0.977. So that means the side would be the cube root of 0.977. So that is approximately 0.992. So they're saying to the nearest hundredth of a meter, what is the length of one edge of the sample? So this is the 10th of a meter, this is the 100th of a meter, then it is 2. So if you round it off till there, it will be 0.99. So that is option B. All right, let's move on to the next question. On May, there were 83 million internet subscribers. Okay, the major providers were these. By September, the number of internet subscribers had become 97. If an internet subscriber on September 30 is chosen at random, the probability that the person selected was an MTN subscriber is 0.43. So that means MTN divided by total is 0.43. Okay. Now there were P million MTN subscribers in Nigeria on September. What is the value of P? Okay. So that means P divided by total is 0.43. That means P is 0.43 times 97 million. Right? Total is 97 million in 2015 September. They are talking of that only. We are not interested in 83. That's not important. So 0.43 times 97, if you compute, comes to 41.71. So they're saying the nearest integer, then this would be 42 million. So that's the value of P, 42. All right, let's go to the next question. Dataset F consists of 55 integers and G consists of all the integers of these as well as 10. So you have got 170 onwards till 290, whatever the numbers are, 55 numbers out of these, while the other set has this extra number 10. So as you can see, all these numbers are much higher, right, than 10. So as soon as you introduce a new number 10, what's going to happen is it will drag the mean down. So that means G, which has the 10, will have a lower mean. So which of the following must be less for F than for G? So it says G consists of all the integers in F. So this is F, and this whole thing is G. So the mean of G is lower than mean of F. So they are saying which of the following must be less for F. Okay. So definitely F is higher, not lower. Okay. So that means it's not the mean. And for the median, we can't say because we don't know. It might be that all these integers are the same. So it's like, for example, the 55 integers are all 180s. And then even if you, so the median will remain just 180, right? And now even if you introduce a new 10, that will be in the very beginning of the set. So the median will still remain 180. So the median might be equal also. So we can't really say anything about the median from here. And they're saying which of the following must be. So this is not. So neither one nor two is. So that is option D. Next one. A scatter plot shows the amount of electric energy, etc., over a 10-year period. So this is year, this is energy. Which of the following equations is the best bet? So after all, this is approximately a negative, right? Upside down, open downwards. So that means it must be negative coefficient for x square. Ax squared, a must be negative. That rules out these two. And now for the constant, if you look at it, this is going to intersect somewhere like this, around 740 for the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is clearly a positive. This is 0, right? X is 0. So y-intercept is around 740. Here the y-intercept is minus 745. So that cannot be. This is plus. So this has to be. So the answer has to be option D. We don't need to plug in or do anything else. Okay. It was pretty obvious that it had to be the fourth option. All right. Let's go on to the next question. So here we have W is 110% greater than Z. So that means W is 100 plus 110% of Z. So that's 210% of Z. So W is 2.1 Z. Okay. Now they're saying Z is 55% less than 50. So Z is 100 minus 55% of 50. So that's 45% of 50. So that's 22.5. So you can just compute it. 22.5. That's the value of Z. They're saying what is the value of W? So from here, W will be 2.1 times 22.5. So if you just do the calculation, 22.5 times 2.1, you get 47.25. That is your answer. All right, let's go to the next question. A gift shop buys souvenirs at $7 each, sells them, which is 290%. So buy at $7, sell at retail price, which is 290, means 2.9 times 7. Now, at the end of the season, any remaining souvenirs are marked at a discounted price that is 80% off the retail price, means there's 80% discount. So that means the remaining souvenirs are sold at 80% discounted. So that means remaining is 20%. 20% of 2.9 times 7. So that's zero point 0.2 times 2.9 times 7. So the discounted price for each of these is basically just compute the result. So 0.2 times 2.9 times 7. That comes to 4.06. All right, let's go to the next one. So you have a scatter plot of x and y. Which of the following could be the equation? The line of best fit is somewhat like this. Okay, somewhat like this. The y-intercept is expected to be somewhere around that, around the 100 mark. So this is 100, this is 100, this is 100, this is not 100. So we can strike that out. Now for the slope, is it 200x, 100x, 50x? Okay. So don't think that it is slope 1 because this side, this is 1, whereas the same side, this is like 100 times. Okay. So slope is going to be pretty huge. So if you just want to calculate, let's taking these 2 points maybe. So y changes from 150 to 100. So 150 minus 100 divided by, here the x value is half minus 0. So that's 50 over half. So that comes out to 100. So the slope is around 100. So it would be 100x plus 100. Okay. So for example, if you want to verify it, at 2, the value should be around 3. So x is 2. So 200 plus 100 is 300. So that is fine. So the answer is the second option. Let's look at the next one. So the function is defined as 201% of x, means 2.01x. So clearly this is a linear function, right? It is some constant times x. That's it. So obviously it is a increasing linear because it is positive. Okay. Let's go to the next question. So here it says 37% of the items in a box are green. Okay. Of those, 37% are rectangles. Of the green rectangles, so we have all the items. 37% are green. Of those, 37% are rectangles. Okay. Of those, 42% are metal. They're saying which of the following is closest to the percentage of the items that are not rectangular green metal items. That means they're not, so neither rectangle nor green nor metal. So that means this would be not green. And then this would be not metal. And then this would be not rectangle, sorry. And then it would be not metal. Okay. So we need this one. So if I want to solve this, so what I can do is if I start off with 100, let us say, so 37 are green. And of those 37, so 37%. So what is 37% of 37? Is 13.69, which are rectangles. Of those, 42%. So that would be 5.75 metal. Okay. So that means out of the 100, 5.75 are green rectangular metals. So they are saying how many are not. So that means those who are not green are also there. Amongst the non-green, there could be some rectangles. Not green rectangles would also be there because there is already one property which is not valid. It's not. Non-green rectangles are okay. Non-green non-rectangles are also okay. Some of them can be metals, some of them non-metals. All of them are okay. Because for each of these, there is some property which is missing, right? So basically what we just need to do is, since we have already calculated 5.75 to be the ones which are rectangular green metal, how many are not would simply be 100 minus this. So the answer is 100 minus 5.75. So that would be 94.25%. That is option C. Okay. So I hope this is clear. Let's go on to the next question. So we have scatter plot again. It shows the numbers of gains of both protein grams of, sorry, of both protein and total fat for each sandwiches. So protein here and fat there. and it's a line of best fit is drawn. According to line of best fit, which of the following is closest to the predicted increase in total fat, increase in fat for every increase in 1 gram of protein. So they're basically saying change in fat, which is change in Y, by change in protein per gram. So that means change in X, means they're basically asking you for the slope. So we'll just pick 2 points and figure out what the slope is. An easy number to pick could be this one, and another number could be this. So the X value is changing, the Y value is changing from 50 to 20. So 50 minus 20 upon X value changing from 30 to 10. 30 minus 10. So 50 minus 20 is 30 by 20. So that's 1.5. So that is option C. All right, let's go to the next question. So some geometry now. All right, so what's it saying? In the figure AC equals CD. All right, so AC equals CD. So that's your isosceles. And the measure of angle EBC is 45. All right, so EBC. So that's a 45. Okay. Measure of angle ACD is 104. So that means 180 minus 104, which is 76 degree, is basically angle D plus angle A. And since they're equal, because it's an isosceles triangle with CD equal to CA, so each of them would be 76 by 2. So that's 38. So that's 38 here and 38 there. They're asking you to figure out the value of X. So now the X value here clearly is the exterior angle of this triangle, right? And we know that the exterior angle is sum of the interior opposites. So X is simply 45 plus 38. So that would be 83 degrees. So the answer is 83. Okay, let's go on to the next one. All right, so we have got figure with two triangles, etc. They're all on a straight line. And the SQX is 48. SQX, so this angle is 48. SXQ is 86. So SXQ, so okay, that is 86. SWU, so SWU, this one here is 85. And VTU, so VTU, this here is 162. So they're asking you to figure out the TUR angle, so this one. So one way of doing this could be first focus on triangle QSX. We have got 48 and 86. So 48 plus 86 would be 134. That means angle QSX would be 180 minus 134. So that's 46. So that's 46 here. Now, one way is you can now do is figure out this. We know this, we know this, we would also know this, and then do 360 minus that to get the answer. Alternatively, what you could also do is, okay, you got 46. Let's figure this angle out. This plus this is the exterior angle of this triangle, right? If I look at the small triangle RWS. So angle SRW is simply 85 minus 46. So that's 39 degrees. So this angle here is 39. And now this is the exterior angle again is equal to sum of the interior angles of these two. So angle TUR is 162 minus 39. So that would be 123 degrees. All right. So that's the answer, 123. Alternatively, as we were saying, you could have also done it. So 162 means this becomes 180 minus 162. So that's 18 degrees. Okay, because 180 minus 162 is 18 there. And that's 46. So this here would be 180 minus 46. So that would be 134. Now these three add up to, so 85, 134, and 18. So these two is 152, 152 and 85 would be 237. So 360 minus 237 would be our answer. So 123 degrees. We could also have done it like this. All right, let's go to the next question. So this one is saying that MQ and NR intersect at a point, NP equal to QP. So NP and QP are equal. MP and PR are equal. What is the measure of angle QMR? They're asking for this angle. So what we can simply do is, since this is given equal and this is 60, so this angle here would be 120, 180 minus 60. Now, if this is 120 and then this is isosceles, then these two angles must be equal. So 180 minus 120, that's 60. So each of those would be 60 divided by 2. So that's 30 degrees. So that's your answer. Answer is 30. Let's go to the next question. Employees working for a customer service line recorded all the calls. Whether the caller asked for repairs, whether the caller asked about a bill, the results are submitted here. Now say if the caller last Monday who asked about his or her bill is selected at random. So we are saying that the person asked about the bill. Asked about the bill is this line. So we are only focusing on this. Is selected at random. What is closest to the probability that the customer also asked for repairs? Asked for repairs is 48. So that means this is the number we want. So your probability is 48 out of 671. So if I were to compute it, use a calculator for sure. 48 divided by 671 gives you 0.071. So that is option B. All right, so let's stop here now. We'll get back with the next recording on the remaining questions of the hard SAT suite questions. Okay. So thanks for watching.